Hi there, my name is Kelly Greening-Thoburn, and I'm an independent consultant and national vice president with Arbonne. And I just wanted to welcome you on this call or on this video, depending if you're listening or watching. I'm actually really excited that you're on the call. I know that you've been invited here probably because you're looking to see if this might be something that could be a viable solution for you and your family, or maybe there's somebody that you know and care about that isn't, asked you to take a peek at this to see if it's something that might be a good fit for them. So I'm hoping that in the next 20-25 minutes that I'm able to share with you some information that will better help you make an educated decision about that either way. And I'm actually excited because I'm here in my hometown of Clarenville, Newfoundland. I'm sitting at my parents' kitchen table. You can probably see the ocean behind me, and this is kind of my happy place. I actually live in Calgary, Alberta, though. I've been living in Calgary for a few years. My husband my husband Graham and our two boys, Lucas and Cole. So I thought that maybe what I could do is kind of share with you guys how I found Arbonne, or should I say how Arbonne found me, and share with you guys how it's made a massive difference in pretty much the whole course of my life, and many other women and men who've joined me. So I'm going to share with you guys kind of what my story is, and also a little bit about Arbonne, the company, its philosophy, and basically what we represent. So for myself, I actually, like I said, I'm from here in small town Newfoundland, but I actually was living in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories when I was 19. I actually met my husband there at a local gym. I was working for the newspaper in marketing and advertising, um, and also working part-time at a local fitness center there where my husband also had moved there. He was a pilot for Buffalo Airways. You may have seen that show on TV, Ice Pilots. And so he was working for that guy, and he came into the local gym to purchase a gym membership, and I was working the front desk that day. Oh, there's the ocean. Let's see if we can fix that. And so we met there, started dating, and 5 years later got married in Yellowknife. 2 days after we got married, Graham actually got a job offer to come to Calgary to work for this startup airline that we weren't sure if it was going to make a go or not, but he accepted a position as a first officer for this airline you may have heard of. It's called WestJet. So my husband was a first officer for WestJet. He had accepted a position for, I think he was making $40,000 or $42,000 a year. And I thought, you know what, things are going to be so amazing. He's, finally got this airline job that he's always wanted. I'll get a fabulous job at a newspaper in Calgary, the, Herald or the Sun, and things will be tickety-boo and we'll live happily ever after. Much of that is true, the happily ever after part. It just took a little while. So I actually struggled with finding a job at the newspaper when I first moved to Calgary. It took me almost a year. So I actually did some personal training at local gym, and I worked in a show home as the greeter girl, and, did a few things while I was waiting to get that job. And it took me almost a year, and then I did land that job at the Calgary Sun. And I got to say, I really loved working for that company. It was actually Bo's newspaper network that I worked for. Had a great job. And I was there for probably close to a year before we had our first son, Lucas. So we had Lucas, and then I went on mat leave, of course. But you know what, you guys, we weren't in a really great financial position before we went on mat leave, being that Graham was, first officer for this airline, and we knew that he would get an upgrade to a captain seat and that would all change financially. We just didn't know when that was going to happen. So if you've ever been in a position where, you weren't making very much money and there was, potential for you to earn more, but there was, a time difference, like maybe you were finishing school or maybe whatever, it's really difficult to live, for a couple of years or 4 years on a really limited budget. It kind of wears you down, right? So, of course, going on mat leave didn't improve the financial situation, but we were trying to build a family, right? So it's what you do. So we had Lucas, and instead of taking the full year off, we decided that I would go back when Lucas was 9 months old, just because, again, financially, we were in a position where, we felt we needed to, make, financially smarter decisions, and that was one that we decided together we would make. The only little hitch in that one was that when I went back to work, 1 week after returning to work, when Lucas was 9 months old, I found out that I was actually already pregnant with our second son, Cole. And you guys are probably judging right now, but it's not the time to judge. It seems like a good idea at the time. And so, I mean, that really significantly kind of changed the story. It's a big piece of the puzzle. Now I had to return to work afterwards, putting two babies in full-time childcare for the tune of, I think it was $1,600 or $1,700 a month. I had a husband that was gone 15 or 16 days a month, and I'm working full-time. So many of you right now can relate to that, but if you can't, let me just help you out with that. Basically, I was getting up at 5:30 in the morning, packing two diaper bags for two babies. I was driving them to childcare, being there by, had to be at childcare by about 7:45, and then getting to my full-time job at the newspaper, working a full eight hour, sometimes 9 hour day, picking up my boys around 6:30, getting home closer to 7, and by the time you feed them and bathe them and get them in bed, uh, you need to go to bed soon after yourself because you're getting up at 5:30 to do that all over again. Now, I'm not complaining about my life because, to be honest with you, I'm really fortunate. I have a wonderful husband and two healthy, beautiful little boys. But I'm not going to lie, there was definitely, a couple of years in there where I found myself in unfamiliar territory where I was really exhausted, trying to do my best, and in many cases falling what felt like very short of that. Trying to be a good mom, but yet working a full-time corporate job, trying to take care of myself, like on my lunch break, trying to go to the gym and, stay fit, because when you have two babies, you kind of need to be on your game. And when you feel like you're a single mom half the month because your husband, even though he's an awesome husband and an awesome dad, if he's physically not there, that makes it difficult for him to help. And then being that I'm from here in Newfoundland, I mean, I have an incredibly wonderful parents. Like my mom and dad are amazing. I have three sisters and huge extended family here. But if they're physically on the other end of the country, it makes it difficult for them to help me out, with my kids and all of that. So they were very emotionally supportive, but it was difficult because my parents both were working full time at the time as well, right? So during that time, I was just wore down, and I think that my husband, who, was trying his very best, he's working, as hard as he can, but then he's coming home after being gone for 4 days. He's pretty exhausted too, but then his new wife is pretty exhausted, and sometimes you, even though you love each other, incredibly a huge amount, and you want to be in this marriage and you're wanting to parent your kids, sometimes life gets in the way with being both parties being tired and financially being strapped, and those things contribute largely. I think that you can take a look around and you can see a lot of relationships breaking down, and very rarely does that have to do with a lack of love. And I think that's sad. And I think it's sad that people have gotten themselves in a hamster wheel where they're trying to afford their house payments and their car payments and going on a holiday, which means racking up your credit card, which means coming back for the rest of the year trying to pay it off. And that's kind of where we were at. My husband and I actually had to have a sit down one day after he came home, and I said, Grandma, I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. Like, I am so tired of being tired, and I don't feel like I have the resources to change my situation. And when you get in that place where you don't know what else to do, that's kind of can be scary, right? So, we sat down together and we thought, okay, what are we going to do? Like, how's this going to be different? And Graham said, I think you need to quit your job. I was like, quit my job? We're already not in the best financial situation. How is quitting my job in any way going to improve this situation more? And he said, you know what, Kelly? Men and women figure it out every day. They figure it out. They maybe cut back on stuff, but I would rather my wife be rested and be home enjoying these babies while she can than be stressed out and working for another 2 or 4 years until whenever I get my upgrade. I'm not willing to make that a price to pay. So he said, you know what, we'll figure it out like other people do. And so we made that choice, and I'll tell you, it was scary, but I stayed home. And I don't regret that. I'm really grateful to Graham that he gave me the opportunity to do that. But after being home for almost 2 years, I realized that, I have a financial responsibility as well to try and do all I can. I'm a very capable person. There must be something that I can do to earn some money while being at home with our children. So I certainly didn't think it was going to come in the form of a skincare or makeup company. Certainly did not think it would be disguised as that. But you know what? I asked a mom in a mom's group that I was going to on Wednesday mornings if she maybe knew of something that I could do because she was from here. And she called me up a couple days later. She goes, I have something I think you would be really good at. And I'm like, really? I'm all ears. Like, what is it? She goes, you could drive a school bus. And I was like a yellow school bus, like a big one. And she's like, yeah, Kelly, you can make $1,200 a month and you can take your kids with you. I think it could be, something that can make a difference. And as crazy as this sounds, because I'm not even a really good driver, I mean, to be honest with you, I got no business doing it. I took this job. I took the safety course. I became a school bus driver. And the entire year of 2006, I drove a school bus while taking two infants with me when my husband was flying in minus 30 weather, transferring two babies and their car seats out of my minivan into a bus and driving around the city of Calgary, picking up kids twice a day. And I will tell you, that builds character. Because I thought that they had people to come and scrape the windows and warm up the bus for you. And I found out on my first day that you actually were those people. So I'm actually grateful that I took that job. I'm actually incredibly grateful because it actually just shows me what I was willing to do for my kids. And I'd do it again if I had to in a New York minute. But you know what? During that year of driving the school bus, I got invited to what I thought was called an airborne party. It was another pilot's wife. She had invited me to go to this presentation. I really wasn't sure. She said something about Swiss skincare. And at the time, I was using some skincare that I had purchased on TV for acne because I was struggling with hormonal issues through my pregnancies and it was showing up on my skin. I was also 33 at the time. I had done all the bad tanning and stuff that we did, thinking that was a great idea as well in our 20s. And I think with the sleep deprivation of having two babies, hormonal issues, and too much sun, I think all of those things were showing up on my skin. And I think that I knew that my run with the products I was using was kind of coming to an end and it was time to use some big girl products. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and check this out. I went, and being a fair-skinned redhead who's very sensitive to scents and stuff, I was a little bit leery, but after using the products that night, I really loved the texture and the smell, and I loved what she said about the products being free of harmful ingredients, and I think that even 8 years ago, there was an awareness of that, and now 8 years later, there's a massive awareness of that. I mean, people now want to know and are more conscientious of not only what they're putting in their bodies, but what they are putting on their bodies. I think the fact that we've been around now for 35 years and we're a company that is free of harmful ingredients, no animal testings, no animal products or byproducts, chemically added dyes or fragrances, and a boatload of other reasons, I think we're poised for huge success again because, like I said, health and wellness is a way of the future. People are looking for products that they can safely use on their families, and we have those products, 460 something of them to be exact. And so I used the skincare that night, and I also bought some of the bronzer because I think that even though I don't tan anymore, I think it's all of us like to have a little healthy glow. And I bought some baby products, and it was really soon after using them that actually not just myself noticed, my husband, and let's be honest, he doesn't really notice much if you do your hair differently or wear whatever, pretty much doesn't notice any of those things, but God love him, he's a good man. But it was honestly him that made me realize how good the products was because we were driving to the gym one day to work out between my bus runs, and he said, you know what, Kelly, I don't know what's in those orange bottles that you bought, but you look better now than when I met you. And I thought, wow, like that is not something that he would say. He's not the kind of person that says things he doesn't mean ever. And I thought, oh my gosh, like he really thinks this stuff, like this must really be working, right? And then the other thing we noticed is I bought some hair and body wash and lotion in the ABC Baby line because our boys struggle from birth with eczema and psoriasis issues, as do most of my family, again, being the fair-skinned redheads. And the boys' eczema started to hugely improve. And I thought, this stuff really works. And I felt good using the products. And you know what, you guys, the thing that I think most women and men as well are looking for is personal use products that make them feel and look their best. And I'm going to be 41 next month. And I know that I don't look like I'm 31, but I feel really good. And I think that these products contribute largely to my hair feeling good, my skin feeling good, and I feel good about myself because I'm using products that are taking care of my body. When I was 33 and I started using these products, they made me feel good. And now I'm in my, almost, 8 years later. And I know that in my 50s, these products are going to contribute to me feeling really good. And I think that for the most part, that's what most people are looking for. And so I started using the products, seeing a huge difference. And the girl that sold me the products called me up and she said, "You should think about looking at Arbonne, doing this as a business." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not really a salesperson and I can't really see myself doing that." And she said, "You know what, Kelly? You're driving a school bus right now. Thanks for the reminder." And pretty much right at all-time low. And she said, "You know what?" She was doing real estate and doing really well with it. And she said, "You know, it's really hard to work that around um, little kids." And she also had two small kids and wasn't from Calgary. She said, like, just go to Starbucks and take a look at it. And it might not be for you, Kelly. I respect it if it's not. I'll never mention it to you again. But, she said, as your friend, I'd be doing you a huge disservice not to insist that you go for coffee with me. I thought, oh, flip, now I have to go, right? So I went in with all intentions of letting her down easy and just, kind of being nice. And even my husband said before I left, like, don't be signing anything. And I'm like, I'm not going to sign anything. And so I went, and I don't know what happened during that coffee date, but I'll tell you what. She showed me some stories. 5 women in Alberta who had earned the white Mercedes Benz, which I guess at the 3rd level it was that you earn the Mercedes. 5 of them had earned it, and all of them had completely different stories, different backgrounds, different ages, demographic, like everything was different. And I think that might have been what made a difference for me. And I think that I thought, you know what? I don't know about these products except for how they make me feel. And I don't know a lot about business, to be quite honest. I don't know anything about business. But I have a serious desire in my heart to change my situation right now. And nobody's offered me anything better. And that might sound crazy, but you know what? I was excited for the very first time in a really long time. And I went home and I said, "Graham, you know what? I think I want to do this." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "I think I want to do this Arbonne thing, or Airborne, or whatever it is." And he was like, "You're serious?" And I said, "I am." And he said, "My gosh, Kelly, but you don't even know anyone." I said, "You're right, I don't." But apparently, a lot of other people that started this business didn't either, Graham. And it's called a network marketing business because they teach you to be a professional networker and to share your products and share the value of using good products free of harmful ingredients, the value of maybe making an extra 500 or 1,000 or several $1,000s a month, depending on what that person wants. I can show somebody that. I can share these products. I'm already pretty stoked about what they've done for me and for our kids. I think I could say, "Hey, you want to try this stuff? Like, it might, and if you love it, I can show you how to get it for 20 or 35% off." I think I could maybe do that. I'm not going to say I wasn't nervous because that'd be a lie. I'm nervous, and even now, every day when I share this business with people and they sign up to do this business with me, and they're nervous, I'm nervous all over again for them. And it's because we care. And at first I said to Graham, I couldn't even sleep the first night when I started. And Graham's like, "Kelly, I gotta fly in the morning. Like, knock it off and go to sleep." I'm like, "I'm nervous, Graham. Like, what if it doesn't work, or what if I screw it up?" Or he's like, "You know what, Kelly, you have purchased in your life or spent money on things a lot more than what you just spent on a little bit of products to share with people. So what's the worst case scenario here tonight that's going to happen if this didn't work out? You have product that you already love and want to use." I'm like, "Okay." And I said, "Grandma, I can't make any promises. I don't know what's going to happen. All I can say is that I'm going to do my very best to follow the system for success that Arbonne's had around for almost 30 years. And I'm going to be coachable and I'm going to do my very best in every situation. I mean, that's all I can do, right?" And he said, "That's all I'm going to ask you to do." And I'm like, "Okay." It's on like Donkey Kong. So I called that girl up and I said, "All right, show me what to do." And you know what, you guys? I realized very early into my business that when I purchased these products, I was on an incredibly tight budget, but yet I found the money to purchase the products for my skin and for my hair. And most women, and men as well, we're really loyal to our personal care products. And if we find something that, does it, the right coral reef lipstick or the right, hair serum or the right girl to do your nails or whatever, we're loyal to those things that make us feel good on a daily basis. And even though I was in a position where I couldn't really afford to, I also understood that I couldn't really afford not to. And personal care products that are also tied in with health and wellness, which is, what Arbonne is, a health and wellness company. is a massively growing industry because people see value in using products free of harmful ingredients for themselves and for their families. So I started sharing those products with people, and I realized that them purchasing those products really had very little to do with me. People aren't going to buy products they don't want to buy. So if you give them the opportunity to try those products and they see value in how it makes them feel and the smell and just, the whole philosophy of, behind using products free of harmful ingredients, people make the decisions for themselves if that's something they want to do. And I love that Arbonne gives people a 45-day money-back guarantee for no reason. They can return those products after a month and a half of using them. Try that at the department store. So I realized early on that I didn't have to know a lot about these products other than how they made me feel and what they were free of. And people saw value like that in them. And then I shared with them how they can buy these premium products at a discount, 20% off or even 35% off. There's a lot of value in even being a host. I mean, there's lots of different ways to share Arbonne. And so I realized in my first month of business that people wanted this product. And every time I would let somebody try it and they'd be like, my gosh, Kelly, I really like this stuff. I'd say, okay, let me show you how to get it at a discount. Then when they reorder those products, you guys, with their membership, whether they're a preferred client or a consultant like myself, I don't deliver those products. They don't phone me up to order those products. They order those products online in the comfort of their own home, and they either go pick them up the next day if they live near a distribution center, or they can have them sent to their house within 2 days. Here's the brilliant part. Here's where the residual income comes in. Every time they reorder those products, you guys, 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, I'm going to get paid exactly the same way I did when I initially shared that product with them. So I'm getting paid right now sitting here doing this video with you because people are taking showers, people that I introduced product to 8 years ago on the nights that I was scared and nervous, but I did it anyways. And today I'm sitting here in Newfoundland at my parents' family home on the ocean, enjoying my family. I don't have to be back to Calgary at any time. I can work my business from my phone, my smartphone, and I can spend time with my family because I've leveraged myself by not just sharing products with people that are reordering them, but also having the courage, even when I was scared, to say to a few people, listen, this might not be for you, and I realize that, but would you be open to taking a peek at an extra stream of income? Is that something that interests you at all? Knowing full well that it's not for everyone and it might not be for her. But I was courageous, even when I was fearful, and I offered people to take a peek at this because I knew that even though women want good products and men want good products to help with the lines on their faces, they rarely go to bed at night losing sleep over the lines on their face. But I bet you, in many cases, they're going to bed at night losing sleep over their finances, which in many cases are creating the lines on their face. So I started handing out this business like it was a winning lottery ticket because honestly, that's how I personally feel. It's made me feel a way that, quite honestly, is even hard for me to describe for you guys right now. And I know that any Arbonne consultant that's doing this business shares in that feeling. I was able to earn the company Mercedes in 6 months. And not because I'm so great at Arbonne. It's because I realized that I had harnessed something uniquely different than anything that I've ever seen. I realized that success in this business meant sharing the products that I loved with people and sharing a possibility of the business. And whether they wanted to earn extra 500, 1,000, or several was for them to decide. It was just for me to share with them the benefits of using products or the benefits of having their own Arbonne business, that they could work around whatever their life looked like, whether they were stay-at-home moms like me, whether they just wanted to supplement retirement, whether they were businessmen that saw that this was a brilliant, brilliant compensation plan. And that when you can become a district manager, the first level of management, in your first month. You can take up to 3 months. You can become a district without building a team or with building a team. But I became a district in my first month, and then I promoted to area manager at the end of my second month. And area manager can take you, a few months, several months, up to a year, whatever you decide. And average income at that level is anywhere from a couple hundred, a few $100 a month up to a few $1,000s a month, which significantly can change a lot for most people. Regional vice president, when you earn that Mercedes, you guys, you're earning anywhere from $4,000 or $5,000 a month to $10,000 a month and up. I mean, that's kind of game changer income for most people. And I know that when I earned that Mercedes and I was earning, a really nice income, I did not have to worry about having another job. I could spend more time being a mom and less time worrying about working for the man, and nurturing my business and growing my business in the nooks and crannies of my day. So after I earned my Mercedes, I realized, oh my gosh, like this is the ticket right here. I can do this. And I think, you know what? I am not the girl that has a bunch of degrees after her name. I'm, I'm somebody who is a hardworking person, and I would say I'm a kind-hearted person, and I like to see other people succeed. And luckily for whoever's watching this, those are the only prerequisites to being successful in this business. If you have a bunch of degrees after your name, and I think that will only contribute, I'm sure, to show that you're a determined person. But I love that an everyday, ordinary girl like me could have tremendous success in this business, because this business isn't about a whole lot of anything besides being a good person, sharing the products and the opportunity, which pretty much anybody could do. And I was able to promote to national vice president, which is the top level of the company, in 17 months of starting. And that changed everything, because the average income at that level is anywhere from about $15,000 a month to about 25,000 and up. And you know what I love the most, you guys, is that you get to decide if or what promotion you want, or how much money you feel like you need to earn. The other thing that's amazing about this business is leverageability. So if I teach and train, not just share the product, but if I share the business opportunity and I teach and train other people to do this, Arbonne's going to pay me for mentoring and training those people and nurturing them and helping their business grow. I think that's brilliant. Imagine for 1 second if the people in your office tomorrow when you went to work got paid more money by helping you succeed. Kind of a brilliant concept, right? I think it's brilliant because when you succeed, I succeed. And together, we're in the business of elevating others. And Arbonne has cultivated an amazing culture, a culture of lifting people up, a culture of duplicating, a culture of sharing and helping each other grow. To be quite honest, I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. The other thing that I think is brilliant with Arbonne is that, they recognize us in ways that many of us have never been recognized in our whole life. And you know what? I'm not somebody who cares about what kind of car I drive, but I haven't had a car payment in 7.5 years, and that has made a significant difference to my family. I'm not going to lie, it's kind of nice on a Mercedes too. A free one. And, being able to earn a fabulous income and being rewarded with, simple things like Tiffany's jewelry is not something I probably would have purchased for myself. But, when you get some of that in the mail and a thank you card that says, we appreciate what you do, that makes you feel pretty warm and fuzzy. I've been able to earn, I think, 28 trips since I started with Arbonne. And you know what the sad thing is I'm married to a pilot, and I couldn't even afford to go on the kind of trips that I get to go on now. And I was getting free flights. Okay, so that just gives you, some insight into what that looks like, and it feels good. My family vacations are paid for every year. My husband and I get to go on a romantic trip to Hawaii every year just for doing my job, just for sharing these products and business with other people. I think network marketing is brilliant because it's a simple way to distribute product. You cut out the middleman. Arbonne is able to reward us independent consultants very generously for all of our business building efforts. And you know what? I don't know if this business is for you, but I encourage you to get with the person that invited you here on this call or on this video and get the information that you need. Get more questions answered, and only you can decide if it's a viable solution for your family. And I hope you do decide to do this business, and I hope I run into you at CNTC, or Canadian National Training Conference, or I run into you at GTC, or Global National Training Conference, which takes in all the countries that we do business in, which is Canada, United States, Australia, the UK, and soon to be Poland and Taiwan. So if you see me because you've decided to, feel the fear and do it anyways, come up to me and say, hey, Kelly GT, I saw your opportunity video, and I think that was pretty cool, and I think that I'm really excited to be here and build my own business, and I hope that that's the decision that you make. So either way, I just want to say I thank you, and I appreciate you for being on this call. And I'm going to go next door to my grandparents' house now, and I'm going to spend some time with my grandfather, who's 96 years old and who lives right next door in the same garden as my parents. And I wish for you all nothing but the very best, and we'll see you soon. Thanks again.